Did you know that mould is the same risk level as asbestos? If you've got mould growing in your home, you are not alone. It is becoming a growing problem, especially here in the UK. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do to remove it and restore your home to the way you like it. Keep it away for good and protect yourself in the process. But who am I and how do you know that this information is going to be good enough? Because you don't want to believe everything that you read or watch on the internet. Well, I'm Lee and I am the Managing Director of Vapor Clean Specialist Cleaning Services based here in the southwest of the UK. Now, we provide a range of specialist and commercial cleaning. This includes a range of biohazard cleaning, one of which is mould cleaning and remedial work. It is an increasing service that we are doing more and more of, especially with the introduction of AWAB's law. Myself and my team are CPD trained to be cleaning and removing mould, and we would just want to help and give a little back where we can. That's why today we are going to be tackling that one problem that everyone dreads: mould. This is how to effectively clean mould from walls and ceilings, a step-by-step guide. So let's dive in. Before we do dive in, I do have to say, as I said in the beginning, mould has a very, very high risk level. It is the same as asbestos. So you do need to thoroughly consider whether or not doing the removal yourself is the right choice. Specialists like ourselves exist for a reason. Number one, it's because we are properly trained to deliver the services correctly in a safe manner. So wherever possible, I would recommend, whether it's us or someone else, getting in an expert. But if you can't afford that, really just don't want to do it, or it's not an option for whatever reason, then keep watching because this is the method you want. All right, let's dive straight into it. But first things first, before we even break out the cleaning equipment, you need to know exactly why that mould is there in the first place. Because if you don't tackle the root cause, the mould will just come back. And you don't want that, especially after you've invested all that effort. So what are the main causes? Well, leaks have to be one of the top offenders. Whether it's your roof, windows or plumbing, leaks let in moisture, which mould absolutely loves. Make sure and check all those areas that are prone to letting water sneak in and fix it fast. Next up, humidity and poor ventilation. Bathrooms, kitchens, basements, you name it, these are high moisture areas. You can open windows even if it's just onto trickle ventilation. You can install fans or potentially use dehumidifiers. Mould loves damp, stale air, so let's not give it that luxury. Also, condensation. Yep, when warm air hits cold surfaces, you get water droplets. This is common in colder months, especially on windows, but it can cause mould on your walls and ceilings too. Keep your home well insulated to reduce this, and potentially you may need to consider thicker double glazing. Ultimately, the biggest nightmare is it may be structural. So you may have rising damp or poor insulation. That's when you need to start considering an upgrade, whether it's an increase in your insulation or whether or not it's improving your damp course. Although the signs for those are harder to spot, it's usually a case of narrowing down the different things. If you've reduced everything else or checked everything else and it's not happening, then I'm afraid that's probably your root cause. As I say, either a lack of insulation or a cause of rising damp, something along those lines. But you may need to get an expert in to find out. Now you've figured out what's causing the mould, we need to talk about the most important thing: protecting yourself. You do not want to tackle mould without having the right gear. Trust me, this stuff is serious. You'll need PPE, personal protective equipment. We're talking long sleeves and rubber gloves to protect your skin, preferably something with a hood as well. So an all-in-one white suit is usually the best option. Then don't forget protective goggles. Make sure that you put on some goggles to protect your eyes from those spores. You may not notice it straight away, but your eyes could get irritable later on. Then the most important part of the PPE, an N95 mask is the minimum. A flimsy paper mask just won't cut it. You need to make sure you have the right quality respiratory help. Now let's prep your area. You're going to want to cover everything. Go and get some dust sheets or some plastic film and make sure you cover all your furniture and all the surfaces within the room you're going to be working. Mold spores are like ninja assassins. They're tiny and they'll get in anywhere. And you certainly don't want them getting into your carpets or your furniture. Now we need to ventilate the area. So you want to open the windows just a crack so it's not blowing a gale in there, because we don't want to circulate that round. But certainly make sure you have some ventilation. Then turn on an air purifying dehumidifier. You want to keep air circulating, not letting the fumes from your cleaning solutions build up or the spores in the air from landing anywhere and not getting moved. That's why we want to make sure it's air purifying. If the mold problem is particularly bad, consider sealing off the room from anywhere else within the property. Use some plastic sheeting to seal the door to prevent the spores from spreading throughout. All right, let's tackle the mold itself. For this, you're going to need two superheroes. You're going to want a descaling solution and a chlorine-based cleaning solution. Descalers are great for breaking down tough mold and mildew, especially when it's stuck to your walls. Just follow the instructions on the bottles and apply it to the affected area. Easy. Next up, chlorine-based cleaners. I know not everyone loves chlorine, but it is great at actually killing the mold spores. Dilute the cleaning solution to the recommended mixture. Usually it's around 1 to 10, 1 to 15. Then follow the same process again. Apply it directly to the affected area. This time though, we're going to give it some dwell time. So let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then wipe away with a microfiber cloth. A microfiber cloth is made to trap in dirt and spores and things like that. So it's great for that reason. If the mold is particularly stubborn though, you may well need a second round. Now that you've successfully removed all the mold though, it's time to make sure it doesn't come back. And that's where drying and prevention comes in. Now remember, we've fixed the problem, we've cleaned the mold away, and we've taken one step to preventing regrowth. Now we want to take another, so we want to try and dry the area as much as possible. That's where you run the dehumidifiers, you ventilate the area, and if suitable, you potentially input some additional heat to actually dry that out. Just be careful that you're not increasing the moisture level or condensation. Once we're happy we have reduced the moisture levels sufficiently enough, we can take the next step. So the last step to prevent regrowth is to apply an anti-mold paint. So we will paint the affected area and a little bit more, so we make sure we've covered everything. Not only does this give us additional protection, but it also gives us a clean and fresh surface for redecoration. Now, when it comes to a professional service like ours, we also take moisture level tests as well. So all the affected areas are tested before we do the work. They're tested after we do the work. We then recommend that our clients don't do any redecoration for at least 30 days, at which point we return and we will do moisture tests again. So assuming that it's all been successful, that moisture level will not increase, it will decrease. If we're getting a decrease in moisture levels, then they are good to go to completely redecorate and move on. Remember, mold is dangerous, it's very effective, and it's aggressive. So you've got to make sure you take your time and the right steps to deliver the best long-term result. And there you have it, folks, your step-by-step guide to cleaning mold from your walls and ceilings. Remember, mold is no joke and you need to be very thorough. The biggest thing you can do is fix that root cause. Check everything. Look for dripping gutters outside, anything that is running moisture down your walls and allowing it to soak in. You need to fix the root cause, clean up the problem and prevent it from returning. So if you're going to tackle this on your own, protect yourself and follow these steps. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have, please do click that subscribe button, drop us a comment, let us know how you get on. If you need any help, we're happy to answer any questions. Any cleaning conundrum at all, drop it in the comments, and you never know, it may end up being our next video. We'll help you while you help us come up with our ideas for videos. Thanks for watching, and please do click the subscribe button. We hope to see you next time. Bye bye.